En mi viejo San Juan, cuántos sueños forjé en mis años de infancia. Mi primera ilusión y mis cuitas de amor son recuerdos del alma. Una tarde me fui hacia extraña nación, pues lo quiso el destino. Pero mi corazón se quedó frente al mar en mi viejo San Juan. Adiós, Borinquen querida. Adiós, mi diosa del mar. Yo ya me voy, pero un día volveré a buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan. Pero el tiempo pasó y el destino burló mi terrible nostalgia y no pude volver al San Juan que yo amé, pedacito de patria. Mi cabello blanqueó y mi vida se va, ya la muerte me llama y no quiero morir alejado de ti, Puerto Rico del alma. Adiós, Borinquen querida. Adiós, mi diosa del mar. Yo ya me voy, pero un día volveré a buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan.
My name is William Betancourt. I was born in Puerto Rico, in San Patricio, Puerto Rico. I am many professions over the years. I'm currently retired and dedicating myself to social justice and catching up on my old music projects. I'm also a pianist, a composer myself, and a teacher. So I've had worn many hats over my lifetime. And the song has a variety of recollections for me and meanings. This is not, the meanings I'm gonna read out to you are not necessarily in order. There's no logic to it. It's just as I kept thinking about, what it means to me, they were shooting out at me.
Wow, okay,
So
great.
first of all, En Mi Viejo San Juan is La Cuna, my birthplace. It's my homeland. So I get a sense of family, traditions, culture, foods, landscapes. I get a patriotism, a desire to, go back and retrace my roots and go to visit all the places where I remember I frequented as a child. Old friends. It has so many wonderful meanings. And at the same time, it's very nostalgic. Many of the family members are long gone.
Mm.
You grow older, you know, you start losing.
Yes, yes, sir.
You start losing some of the roots. They start disappearing over age. And
Yes,
so
sir.
you get a little nostalgic about it, you know. But at the same time, it's still there.
Mm.
It's like, you know, like going back to an enchanted place. And even if you can't be there, the song allows you to relive it.
Mm.
So the recollection is strong and it's still, you know, in your heart and in your mind. It never leaves you. Once you've tasted the island, you don't go back.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a song that deals with recollecting where you come from, your roots. And it's probably one of the most recorded songs throughout the whole repertoire of music. I believe it's, in fact, singled out as the most recorded song in the history of music.
Wow.
I can't tell you where I got those statistics from right now, but I read that and I believe that it's true. The song is heartfelt. It's written by Noel Estrada, a great musician and a composer and a musician with the different groups. And so it shows a kind of my history. And when we hear it, it brings us a lot of sadness, but at the same time, a lot of joy in recollecting the beauty of what we left behind. Okay, I was born in a area of Ponce called San Patricio. It was then a naval base, an American naval base. And my father was in the Navy and he was a medic. And we lived on the encampment of the naval base.
Okay.
So over the years, after the Americans vacated the naval base, it was covered mostly with forest and, you know, forestry and shrubs and trees. And so many of the areas where I used to walk as a child have disappeared. You can't see them anymore. But there is one part of it that's left, which is a kind of mall. And it's called the San Patricio Mall. I have many personal recollections of Puerto Rico that are associated with this song. Some of them are too sad for me to. So I would rather just let you know that it's, you know, a wonderful song and probably the most famous song that ever came out of Puerto Rico. And like I said, it is. I read this. I can't tell you where I got it. Most of the family's childhood was spent in Ay Bonito. And the reason why was because my aunt was she was a kind of auxiliary nurse, and she was she was a volunteer, she was a social worker, she was a teacher, she was all kinds of things, and she advocated for the children who had tuberculosis. And so she built and founded La Casa de Rosario Belver in Ay Bonito, which is still there to this day. It's being used for other things than tuberculosis, but it still involves childcare. I think now they're working with kids who have Asperger's and all kinds of diseases. So it's serving them, but it's still serving children. And so we were there. And we were raised in that environment with other children that came from different towns.
Wow.
So it was kind of like a great cultural imbibing, of everything that surrounds the island.
Yes,
Yeah, so we had a very good stock, growing up, because we were exposed to many towns and, customs and foods. So we got to be a kind of like we absorbed everything as children. And that stayed with me forever. To this day, I can tell you, that it's as real as it was now, as it was then. We came with the, the migrations of the 1950s. We first came as, we came in pairs. We didn't all arrive at one and the same time.
Okay.
We were 9 children.
Okay.
So my dad and my oldest sister, who was going to go to study at Columbia University,
Wow. Okay.
came first. And they sort of were, scouting for an apartment and jobs and trying to set themselves up in their new terrain. And then they would, then we came later. So when we arrived, we were so many children that we could not get an apartment anywhere because they wouldn't rent to families with 9 children. So we had to be, my father was very, very clever. He was not being dishonest because, you have to survive. You need to provide for your family, and that he did. He worked, God knows, every day of his life, and we never went without because of him. But what we did was he got like, he got an apartment, a room in a hotel. And so he and my sister got a good hotel apartment. And later on, not one by one, but like 3 and 4 arrived later on. And it was quite a task keeping the family's secret safe. So, the manager of the hotel, when he first rented, the apartments to my dad, it was just my sister and him. And then he said, that he was going to have some 2 children come over. And instead of 2 children come over, they were 9. So this guy watched us parade out of the hotel in the morning to go to school. And he would just be there counting us like the little, chicks following. 1, 2, 3. No, wait a minute. 6? Hold on, wait. And he was so confused. And after a while, he got wise. He knew, but he never said anything. Wow. He was a good man. This was in Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in Manhattan. My last reflections concerning, the thing about returning again. Of course, many of us are unable to do that because we've made our life here. At the same time, we know that the island still exists, that it's there, and that it needs caretakers. It needs people to care about it the way that we did. We long for it because we care about it. And among the many things, that Puerto Rico has gone through is the political suffering, the suppressions, the violations, the exploitations. All of these things still concern me about Puerto Rico. So even though I'm here, I'm an activist on behalf of everything that's going on the island.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's still my community. It hasn't, like I said, it's here. Thank you so much. And thank you for the opportunity to allow me to reflect not only my memories, but my emotions as well.
Oh, man.
Isn't that what music is about? It's
Yes.
about expressing yourself.